Hello, my name is Michael. I'm with iConnectivity, where we have introduced a new line of MIDI interfaces. We've got several interfaces that go through a variety of capabilities. This is our top of the line. This is called iConnect MIDI 4 Plus. It has 4 in, 4 out DIN MIDI. It also has 3 USB device ports on it, for which you could connect either iOS devices or computers. And then you also have USB MIDI, and it can host up to 8 USB MIDI controllers through standard USB hubs, and Ethernet MIDI, which could do the RTP MIDI, which is enabled by Apple and other operating systems through drivers to connect through the Ethernet or even through Wi-Fi. So it does all that type of MIDI, brings it into the box, does routing, filtering, muting, merging through all the functions of MIDI that you do today with various other boxes, just all contained inside our box.
Is there like a control panel to set all of that stuff up?
Yeah, there's a simple application we have called Port Manager. It's all iOS app as well as Windows and Mac, and it just goes through the simple operations of setting up your filtering, your routing, and so forth. And you can also, when you're all satisfied with what you've got, you can commit it to flash memory inside the box, such that when you unplug it and plug it back in, it remembers all those settings and you're off and running again. So it's based on our original iConnect MIDI product, and we've expanded on that capability and added it into our new product line. The other feature that we've introduced this year is a feature called Audio Pass-Through. And what Audio Pass-Through will do is take that great quality digital audio from those applications on your iPad, for example, and pass it through to your computer. And that gives you the ability to maybe capture your DAW or your sequencer on your computer, make it part of a real good performance.
So you can use it as an audio input without having any D to A, A to D, all of that kind of stuff?
That's correct. It is straight digital audio pass-through. So the quality of the digital that's coming from the iPad application goes through our box directly to the computer. In this case here, I'm just running a very simple application on the computer that is just, it takes the input from the iConnect MIDI and goes directly to, passes it through to the output. And that's what we've got connected to our speakers. And I've got, of course, a MIDI controller going through our box into Animoog on the iPad, and this audio is in fact coming from the speakers of the computer that we got hooked up, but you'll notice there's no headphone jack connected up.
So what about clocking and kind of, I guess lots of people might want to do with aggregate devices and what have you?
Well, so on the case of the audio clock, because we're just passing through from one to the other, there's really no necessary synchronization that's needed. It just goes straight through. But if you want to clock and get all your different applications working together, MIDI clock, of course, could be passed through our devices because we handle MIDI and it handles it very well.
But in terms of audio, I could just say like the iConnect would be an audio source into my DAW, and I just record them.
Exactly, and it's almost exactly the same as doing like saying to your computer, instead of saying your audio source is the iPad, you're saying it's iConnect MIDI, but essentially it is saying it's the iPad because it's just straight through. There's only 1 millisecond of latency through our box for the audio.
Wow.
So it just goes straight through.
So, I mean, this is quite a big deal, really, because people have been going, hey, how about this? I mean, this should be singing it from the rooftops.
Well, that's what we're experiencing here. Everybody's in liking the fact that the iPad could finally be part of their professional gear or their music. It's bringing in that quality audio, no longer using that crappy headphone output.
So can you use it as a part of an aggregate setup as well in the Mac?
Yes, yes, you can. Cool. And especially with this device here, you got more than, like I said, 2 iPads. So you could have 2 sound sources that coming into your computer that are generated from apps on the iPads.
Wow, that is neat. So how much is this stuff, and when can people get it?
So we're working to launch this one out into the retail stores by early Q2, and it's going to MSRP on it's $249. And we expect it to street for around $199.
What about the little guy?
The little guy, which is just 2 device ports and 2 in, 2 out DIN, It is going to be available towards the end of Q1. We got a couple of certifications we're looking for, but we're targeting for the end of Q1. It has got a street price of $69.99.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.